Hello, good afternoon, Audrey.
Hello.
I'm very pleased to, of course, to know you and do this interview for Monte Carlo Fashion Week, what it's called in conversation with. So with you, you are the designer of the sustainable luxury brand Diana d'Orville. I'm very proud and honored to do this conversation with you. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, of course. Hello. My name is AUDREY TASIAUX. I'm the founder and creative director of Diana d'Orville. It's a sustainable luxury brand. It's a silk suit mostly, and now kimonos, etc. Proudly made in the south of France and now in Paris from haute couture fabrics that come from France and Italy exclusively. Voilà.
Yes, perfect. So yes, I know that you are very in the conscious wear and you are focused on, because it's your baseline also, the sustainable. Can you please explain us how is your approach to sustainable luxury? How do you process for the production, sourcing, and of course, concerning your final consumer also approach?
Okay, so I was very lucky to grow up in the south of France, between the sea and the mountains and the nature.
Yes.
There's really a profusion of fresh, locally grown products. I used to go every Sunday with my grandmother and my mother to the farmers market, and really a direct access to nature. So I've been close to nature since very young, and living sustainably in that way has always been part of my lifestyle. So it's always been quite natural, whether it's the skincare I've been using or the food I put in my body or the dressing choices I make. So it all sounded quite natural until I went to live in big cities such as Hong Kong and London and now Paris. So I think the concept of sustainability and luxury, they seem for a lot of people paradoxical, although I think they're very closely intertwined. You know, they both,
yeah, you're right,
respect of natural cycles, the praise of human gestures and, you know, humanity, natural fabrics, less quantities, artisanship, etc. It's really that idea of quality over quantity and putting human at the center instead of industrial things.
Yeah,
really went crazy in the last 50 years. And so Diana d'Orville is the fruit of this concept. It's been sustainable from the ground up. We also originally, I really don't come from a fashion background. I was in international politics, specialized in terrorism, so really far away.
Oh yes, far away.
From
yes,
exactly. The Harry branch and fashion. But actually, I think this brought me to realize that fashion had a huge impact on socially and environmentally. So I started to be more and more interested into that.
Yeah.
So yeah, coming back to Diana d'Orville, we're sustainable from the ground up, from material selection to final packaging. In terms of, for example, firstly, sourcing, we upcycle dead stocks from French haute couture maison. So we give a second life to really divine fabrics that otherwise would be burnt or, you know, or jeté à la poubelle. We work also with Italian partners that are located in the Lago di Como region in Italy. And it's a center of silk manufacturing since the Medici era during the Renaissance and the Silk Roads, etc. So there's really there's that history that went through the families, and that it's a center of excellence in that field. So these are family-owned manufacturers that are still thriving today, and I really love that aspect as well, to, you know, talk with them and know about their whole history. Also, in the terms of production, everything is handmade in our south of France atelier and in Paris now by fairy-fingered seamstresses. The production is local, small scale. It really uses that French craftsmanship and haute couture skills that tend to disappear due to mass delocalization pressure, you know, to lower cost of foreign countries. And what I really want is to support this beautiful artisanship that I'm very sensitive to. There's nothing more precious than, the gestures of a hand. We also then upcycle our own collections into new creative products. So there's really that zero stock, zero waste policy across all collections. Packagings also are made in France and Holland with zero plastic involved. So yes, of course, it's a bit, more expensive to make, but at the end of the day, I know everything is well done.
Is control, yes, well done and controlled by you and your team.
Exactly. So there's really that local dimension that allows the whole process to reduce our carbon footprint at the end of the day. Donc, voilà.
Congratulations, because more than ever today you are in the slow fashion, and specifically after what we live now since more than 1 year with the COVID crisis. I think it's more than important to take care of the sustainable product, and it's not only to announce it, but it's also very important to do it. And I have to congratulate you for that, because you launched your brand 2 years ago, no? You told me?
Yes, about
2 years ago, and even 2 years ago, you were already in the mind to do it. So I think it's one of the most important things today. So you are also an ambassador, if I can say that, of the French Riviera, based close Monte Carlo. You take part of the Monte Carlo Fashion Week. So how do you use these assets to differentiate yourself and win over your customer? Because it's also very important. How do you catch and attract new consumer? Because as you do capsule collection and very unique pieces, I think we will be interesting to know more about your capacity to mix and match the French Riviera and your customer. Final.
But really, there's two sides. So first, I'll start with the business side and that concept of sustainable luxury. I grew up in Monaco, which really has a legitimacy worldwide with all its initiatives for the people and for the planet, especially with Prince Albert II. He really reinforced Monaco's position internationally on everything sustainable, while successfully keeping, the luxury dimension and healthy economics. So it really proves that it's a business model, and actually at the political level as well, that mixing sustainability and luxury doesn't only work, but it's really viable on the long term.
Yeah.
Monaco is very healthy, on that side. And on the other side, there's the branding side, of course, that I really infuse the French Riviera and Monaco in all the marketing.
Yes, the image. Yes.
Exactly. Monaco and the French Riviera are culturally and historically places that really worldwide make people dream, and that inspired so many artists through history, whether it is in a cinema with, Grace Kelly, and Hitchcock films, Jane Birkin and Romy Schneider with Alain Delon in La Piscine, can be also in literature with Scott Fitzgerald, the author of Gatsby. He spent a lot of time in the roaring 20s with his wife Zelda on the Riviera as well. It's also the center of arts. Many artists came. For example, all the artists of the Impressionist movement. Then Braque, Cézanne, Matisse, Picasso, they all reunited, at famous Colombe d'Or in Saint-Paul-de-Vence, which is literally my heaven on earth. And there's also that proper art de vivre and slow life, very close to nature with wonderful landscapes. I think of, for example, the Rose de Mai fields in Grasse, or the lavender fields in L'Avensole in Provence. So all these colors and lights and smells that I had the chance to have in my childhood, they inspire me, and I really infuse them in each piece I design. So really, it comes quite naturally, and I think this is what makes the brand quite unique. It's very genuine.
Yes, and I can see in your collection you use a lot of color, also a mix of color, and print very fresh. And I think it's one of your add value also, and it's helped you to be different. And today, how we know how it's difficult to be seen as an emerging designer because of the competition, because of the digital tsunami that we have today. I think you have the arguments to be seen as specifically as different or just beautiful. Also, not only product but also marketing to combine to be in the same adequation and DNA. I think your value also are very important. And I jump to my other question. What do you think is your add value that has allowed you to differentiate yourself and develop your reputation? Because I would like to know also, how do you catch your customer? Is it by your e-shop? It's the network? Of course, it's both. But I would like to know, compare, for example, to business or to direct to consumer. How is your approach to catch them?
So at the moment, well, of course, I launched the brand during COVID. During COVID, a year after
it was
came, so I had to change the whole business model. Now I'm direct to consumer, but I'm starting to reach out to
wholesale
things. I won't tell the names at the moment, but it's going quite well. I'm super excited. I really believe in exclusive collections for these wholesalers, which really keep the unique the unique piece dimension without making it very industrial in a way.
Yes, you're right. I think you're right in this sense. Yes,
absolutely. Then I think the brand, what differentiates the brand from the competition is that firstly it's actually very personal, because I really put my soul into it. So this is it's not,
this is the first goal
in a way.
Yes.
All the marketing, everything that we say is very, there's no greenwashing. Everything we say, we do, which I think today is very important. And I think there's a lot of greenwashing when it comes, to sustainability, etc. Well, we really have
You're right.
difference between both of them. I really see fashion as a tangible leverage, for a new way of producing and consuming fashion and other stuff. That is really radiant with health, joy, and optimism, rather than accusing discourses. And I think people like this. It's not I'm not trying to make people feel bad because they don't do everything perfectly, blah blah, but just giving them the keys to little tips to each day. You do like that, you can do better. But everything is very positive in the marketing. And I focus on building long relationships, either with partners, suppliers, and customers, rather than just doing business as it is. I think it's very important to have that.
You're right.
Ethics and voila. I feel like we're acting together for a purpose, all together, rather than only business. But sometimes, for example, I just pop in to see my dress and have a coffee with her, even if we don't really have to work on something in particular. But I think it's super, super important to do that. Also, in terms of style, there's a really proper style that is inspired by history, art, and my own experiences, which I think really make the pieces very unique with a strong character. Also, the ambassadors that we take. Today,
I see your ambassador.
It's
congratulations, for that. You have amazing ambassador.
It's going super good. But today, I think we can't deny the power of social media and influencers. But I really try to select people with a strong message that are very cultivated, and not only like bloggers that you pay, they put the clothes on, they post this. I don't really like this. I really want positive people that made stuff and who reflect the brand. So I was very, very lucky to have Vincent Daré. I'm so happy. and very different other profiles, Marie Moiti or Hom Fleming. I recently had Zita Daudeville, had a super fun interview that is coming out soon. Lydia Forte from the Roccaforte hotels. Voila. And there's another thing as well that I think is super important and that I see customers really like. There's a social dimension. So there are a lot of giving back initiatives. For example, we sponsor development projects in Congo and Madagascar.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. I'm brand still, so it's not like millions that go into it, but every little helps, and many collaborations or online auctions for Lebanon recently. So I think all of this together really has an impact on customers, and
you're right.
They buy the stuff, but they know they do good as well.
So I think if I recap, and after you just your final words, jump into the next question. But first, I would like to just recap. I think you are completely right to keep the promise to your customer. I think it's one of the important things, and I think today more than ever. Secondly, you talk about final customer experience. And I think today, as you said, it's super, actual and essential to go in this way because of the digital tsunami. It brings us opportunity, but also it could be a problem to emerge. So I think the value of the brand have to be very respect, as you said. And I would like just to add something. Today I heard to a trend office, very famous in Paris, that today we jump into storytelling to story living. And I think you are completely in these trends, if I can say that to you as a compliment. Because you represent your label, you are the incarnation of your brand, and I think your clients follow also not only the product but who is behind the brand. And so I can see your Instagram, I can see your social network, and you do very with of course your soul, your heart, and also the transmission of what you explained, the family value. Also, we can feel that in your story living. I think it's important to have that today, and specifically with the initiative of Monaco Fashion Council and the Monte Carlo Fashion Week that jump into the sustainable edition. It's why you are here, and we are very happy and proud to have you there. And after what you talk about your initiative to be in the ethical, operation, not only in fashion, you jump into my other question. Are you sensitive to the collaborative economy as it's the fourth industrial revolution? You can answer, but you already begin to answer me. And the craze for ethical commitment. And I think you exactly explained me that it's also very important for you to focus on commitment.
Absolutely.
And of luxury house, because you are your positioning is luxury sustainable. So I think it's not antinomic to have both, before it was, but not now.
But I think today, ethical commitments, whether it's for social or environmental purposes, it's not a nice to have, it's a necessity. And the sustainable dimension is not enough to give a brand, its legitimacy. So you really have to put, I think, something more, which is your soul, into it. Which is something very intangible, but that customers can really feel at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly what you told me. Yes.
Yeah, and well, there's another thing: the craze for ethical commitment. Of luxury houses or fashion in general. I'm totally for it, but I'm more and more irritated by all these greenwashing things. We really need to detect the differences between marketing and reality, and
I agree.
And this is I won't say the consumer's work, but we really have to dig in what a brand says and, you know, between what she says and what she really does.
What she showed, yeah, exactly. I'm agree. And there was so many mistakes, so many announcements, and that was not very respect. At the end, the final consumer, you know, is more and more informed. So
Exactly.
it could be a risk to announce and not to do it properly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yes, I think you are doing a very intelligent of fashion, what we call today intelligence of fashion, and you represent the new generation, and I think it's a very good example to show. And because even if you don't want to, you know that it will be work in progress, you want to be in the slow wear and the slow fashion compared to the fast fashion, compared to the what we said, the acceleration. And it was, even before the COVID crisis, it was already complicated to manage. It was a problem before already, and after the COVID crisis accelerate the movement, and today it's an obligation. But as you said, it's not because it's obliged that you do well. You're right. So I think, yeah.
We all still don't know how to do it, you know, perfectly, but at least the initiatives are here, which is absolutely great, and we can only improve what we do. But this is if everyone, you know, gets to work, and that, you know what
yes.
I mean?
Yes, I know. And I think your DNA and you are very coherent in your process. And I think that's super important, even if it's a small business, but you will grow properly. And that's also very important for our audience, and also for you. I can imagine for your clients and your future retailer. So I jump into my other question. Today we talk about the phygital, you know, the mix between digital and physical after specifically the COVID crisis that we wait everybody so with impatience so much. So are you going to jump towards phygital for your next presentation of your collection?
Well, of course, I think, you know, the future is about mixing all channels and all opportunities that we have today to really offer a top-notch customers experience, especially in luxury, because we really have to do it. And it's so interesting today. There's all these, you know, virtual and digital technologies, such as, you know, artificial intelligence, blockchain, etc., that are coming out. I think next 5 years is going to be the big thing. So really keeping an eye on that. Of course, I'm not developing my own blockchain at the moment, but we'll see if we can get access to that later. And, you know, mixing this with top, you know, classic physical experiences, whether in store or private exclusive events, which is very, you know, characteristic to luxury. Also, it's funny that there's a lot of debate recently around should there still be fashion shows, fashion weeks, etc.
Yeah,
I think shows are the core of, you know, fashion, but I think it should come back to what it was at the time, you know, of Paul Poiret, Madeleine Vionnet, Chanel, Yves Saint Laurent, with a real focus on the clothes as a work of art, and not just another, you know, mundane event to attend and post on Instagram to say I was there. And really, you know, focus back on the cloth as work of art in a way.
Yes, I'm agree. I think it's good that you have this vision and perception. We have seen during the last event virtual show and digital fashion show, it was already in this process more and more. Even if it was digital, but it was produced as a niche event, very personalized event.
They've been some brands have been so creative and very reactive, in, you know, depending on all the constraints we had recently. It was actually amazing. And I think actually all these COVID crises, well, it's very sad, etc., but it really forced all industries, not only fashion and luxury, to reinvent themselves and really get more creative.
Exactly.
So for the future, I'm sure it's actually a good thing in a way. But there were, you know, all these groundswells and you know that were
Yes.
underlying. It was for sure it was going to come, but just COVID crisis accelerated all this, which at the end of
Exactly.
the day is also a good thing.
Yes, I agree. It's what I told you. It brings also new opportunity and new reflection and conscious to even for the story living, as I told you. It's a new expression, and our SE, also the experience of consumer, as you said, the value of the brand, everything is very important today to go in this direction. So thank you very much. And if I have a last question, what is your motto, an advice to say to the new generation also? But we listen to you.
There's one sentence that really goes with me everywhere, and especially in challenges. That is, it's keep going, stay strong, make it a laugh. I saw it written on a wall when I was 15 years old at a survival camp in the middle of Scotland that my parents sent me to. But actually, it's really something that is it's very helping in everything. So keep going, stay strong.
Yes.
Make it a laugh.
Thank you very much. I agree, and also stay passionate as you are. And thank you for this interview. I'm very happy to take this time with you to spend time. Hope to see you soon physically, and also in Monte Carlo Fashion Week, or I mean in Paris. We wait for you also. Voilà. Thank you very much.
Very probably in Paris soon. I'm coming back in 2 days.
Perfect. We wait for you. Thank you very much, Audrey. You are amazing, and stay in touch. Good luck for everything. Bye.
Thank you. You too, Muriel. Ciao.
Ciao. Bye bye to everybody. Ciao.